Yeah, hi, my name is Eva Ryan. I'm Principal Teacher in St Bridget's National School, Annacurra. I live locally.
Gerard Ryan is my name. I live here in Redna, Aughrim, County Wicklow. I'm a farmer, a beef farmer.
I just think that the area and the location are wrong. I mean, if you want to establish wind energy or wind electricity, there are plenty of areas that are unpopulated, and that's where they could be situated. I mean, out in the oceans, up in mountains where there aren't so close. In relation to this area and the proximity to the school, that's a huge issue for us here, because we have just this year started a class for children with autism, and we're going to process of building an autistic unit, and that we're trying to provide an autistic specific education, and we would have great concerns as to the impact of the wind turbines.
Well, as such, I'm not a member of any committee or anything like that. As regards to your question, how I came about to work with them on the last campaign was purely through a meeting by chance in Lawless's, a so-called public consultation meeting on behalf of ABBA Wind for a proposal to build a wind farm in this area. At the time, I was completely unhappy with their presentation. I just thought it was designed to inform as few people as possible so that they could slip in a planning application without proper consultation with the community.
Well, children with autism would have huge sensory difficulties. It's the way they perceive and hear sound and sight. They become fixated on something. So if there's a hum or background noise or some low frequency noise, this can become such a huge issue for them that they cannot move on from this. The sound becomes overpowering and overbearing. They can only focus on that. We're not even aware of how complex this is for children with autism, and every child is so different. Like some children, if they're distressed, if the sensory overload from this can be such that they can become distressed, they can become emotional, they could maybe have temper tantrums. You would not know how they would react. Some children would just cover their heads, their ears and their eyes from it and try to get away. Or if they become so distressed, they may try to run. And if you have children outside in a yard, or you're trying to bring them out and about, and the sound is even, we don't know what level of sound this is. And I don't think there's been enough investigation, and I don't think there has been enough details given to us about the level of sound that will be emitted from them. So those are some of the concerns around the children with autism. And these are issues for any of children. Like, we don't know what other children are here in school that would have sensory difficulties.
Well, like I say, I was unhappy with the approach the wind company were taking. And my opinion on it was, well, if the public within the area are informed properly and they decide, well, I would go along with that. For instance, if it had gone for planning and there was no objections, I would have said, well, look, it's obvious that the community around here has no concerns about it. So, I wouldn't try to ram it down anyone's throat that it shouldn't be built. But it was obvious from the result that we got that the people in the area had great concerns, and they still seemingly do. So, and that's where it's at the moment.
It's a government policy that's being implemented. It's government policy to implement these. It's heavily subsidised. The government is pumping money into this, and it's not sustainable.
But I suffer from tinnitus, which is a constant ringing in your ears, and that, when you talk to people that are near them, they start to experience that. And you'd worry for people like that if what I experience is going to be inflicted on people. There's There's all sorts of frequency and sound and everything. And they're only made to test in certain bands. I don't fully understand it, like I say. And again, there doesn't seem to be any great amount of independent verification of what they put forward. They tell us what we'll hear. And the thing about them, each turbine is costing roughly around 2 million. You know, if they go up and there's a problem, they're not going to take it down. You're going to be stuck with it. So there's just not enough research being done.
I just do not see the need for them in this area. I know that the government have committed themselves to renewable energy, and I think this is where it's all stemming from. I'm not sure that wind energy is the way to go in this country. I know we have a vast amount of wind, but there don't seem to be discriminating as to where wind farms are going to be put. People have to live. They're not consulting with the communities. They're not. I just don't feel that there's a lot of thought has gone into it, or consultation on the part of the government. The government have a set idea that this is what we do. We have to do it for the EU. We have to. This is policy. We'll be in trouble with Europe if we don't commit to this, and we haven't done it. And that is basically where their policies are coming from. And I'm not sure they're all that well founded, and I'm not sure that they have explored every other aspect of it.
There's no employment. They said there'd possibly be work for one part-time person. Most of the contractors are from abroad. The windmills are generally made in Denmark and Sweden, so there's no employment in that sense. Where they're being built, part of where they're being built is an established woodland, which has to be gutted because you can't have trees near the windmills. So as regards the timber industry around here employs an awful lot of people. In that sense, you're taken away from the timber industry. So as regards to the community, the only thing they seem to have offered, and they've backed away from it now because they got so little uptake on it, was €440 per household to 100 households in free electricity for the lifetime of the wind farm. But my understanding at the moment is with the negative response they got from that, they've sort of given up on it. So as regards to positives in the area, no, there doesn't seem to be any.